how are you all? Today we're talking about another new anime series called Chaos Dragon. Chaos Dragon is a fantasy quest kind of story that takes place in a pretty interesting world. The series mainly focuses on a country called Nilkamui, which was carved out when the two east and west countries were warring. Nilkamui is a small island country that ended up being wedged in the middle of Kuron and Donatia's power struggles. Our main character is a boy named Ibuki, who is the next heir to the Nilkamui throne. However, he feels that he doesn't really need to fight because he doesn't feel that the country really needs a king. So the prologue takes a little bit of a twist of irony. By the time we get to episode 1, at the very end of it, he ends up having to take up arms and fight anyways. The series follows the country's struggle to become independent, and that goes hand in hand with the fantasy elements that the premise sets up. There are 7 dragons that exist in this world, and these dragons are guardians of certain countries and certain orders, I believe. From Donatia, you have the Knights of the Black Dragon, and in Nilkamui, the Red Dragon oversees the country. For some reason, since the last war with Kuron, the Red Dragon ended up attacking its own inhabitants, so the Red Dragon is clearly not happy, and by the end of the first episode, it calls out to Ibuki, and Ibuki is faced with the decision to make a contract and pledge himself to the Red Dragon. The interesting thing is that this magic system takes a lot of checks and balances with the users. So say for Sir Swallow in episode 2, who is introduced, he is one of the Knights of the Black Dragon. He has a really unique curse or kind of gift where every single tool that he uses will disintegrate or disappear. However, before it disintegrates and disappears, it will be pushed to the power in its max. So this is very useful in battle. However, when you're using something like a cup or a fork, not so much. For him though, it makes him kind of broke because he keeps on needing to use new weapons. As well, there's a girl named Eha who is a bounded one. Bounded ones are originally slaves, and when they're children, they're literally physically tethered to a monster or a creature. It allows them to share their thoughts, and it allows the bonded master to actually control the creature. However, the bonded ones are mostly shunned in society. So there's a lot of balances that come into play and a lot of sacrifice that comes into play regarding this magic system and the battle system and the world. I really like the series because after episode 1, you pretty much have caught on to every single perspective. Because there are 3 different countries warring for power, there are definitely more than 3 perspectives. Now, some of the characters I mentioned earlier were just a few of the interesting characters that really jumped out at me. By the time we get into episode 2 and episode 3, some characters have died, other characters have arrived, some are more mysterious because they're more antagonistic, some are hiding backstories. And that's the cool thing, because everybody from different countries chooses a representative and joins up on this Red Dragon expedition. Some people want to slay the Red Dragon, others want to claim its power for itself. Ibuki, who ends up being somewhat linked to the Red Dragon, seeks out the Red Dragon in order to return the power that he's taken from him. Ibuki is a pretty good main action hero, I think. He's not brash like shonen heroes, but he has that sort of sensitivity to people. He's actually quite an interpersonal, outgoing kind of person because he keeps himself surrounded with a close group of friends. And the story seems like it's going to push him to a point where he has to make really hard decisions because he has to sacrifice lives of close ones to save the lives of perhaps millions in his country. The multiple perspectives of the story give a much more well-rounded interpretation of what's going on, so it almost seems like you're following history as it happens rather than actually following it from the hero's perspective. You learn a lot of things from other characters that the characters between themselves might not know, so there's a lot of dramatic irony going on, and sooner or later all the pieces from different sides are going to click together in place, because not only do we get a lot of main character perspectives, we also get a lot of side character shots, whether it's politics or rebel factions or just like lone wanderers that are observing this as the story is unfolding. Chaos Dragon makes a really big impact once it starts, and one of the biggest reasons for this is because the animation is so stunning. Everything is very intricate, and I think the animation balances the use of 3D and regular key animation very well. It really draws out the nice bright colors in Nilkamui and in all of the different foreign characters and travelers, as well you're getting tons of fluid transitions and animation when it comes to combat, and that's one of the most important things because combat is a key element of the plot itself. So far there are only 3 episodes out, but Chaos Dragon is looking really good. Even right after the first episode, it really grabs you in, it gets you a little bit emotional. There is so much going on in the world itself. For example, even for the screen cards in between A part and B part of the episode holds an entire paragraph of Japanese that you can actually read through. And it's an interesting fact about one of the countries or some fantasy or magic phenomenon that's been introduced in the story thus far. Some characters serve as information dumps, but you kind of forgive those because of how much you need to know about the world in order to understand what's going to happen. As well, magical weapons are incorporated, magical creatures, and all of it is wrapped up in a quest style. It's really nice. Even though there's a lot of traveling going on, we get that glossed over really quickly so it doesn't drag on, and it really has a lot to tell in the 12 episodes that have been planned out. Chaos Dragon's storyline and characters come from an RPG role-playing game, and the concepts come from a bunch of really really talented light novelists. So you guys should definitely check this out if you're looking for something very engaging and very action-packed. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this first impressions. I'm really glad I checked out Chaos Dragon. Initially I was gonna skip over it because I was a little bit behind, but I am glad I got into it, and I really hope you guys will try this series as well. I'm just very excited to see where this is gonna go, and I see a lot of potential with a lot of the characters. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you guys did, don't forget to hit like or subscribe for more from me. Manga Mondays will be coming back next week. Some more new first impressions, a few more new videos. And until then, I hope you guys are well, and I will talk to you guys in my next video very soon. Bye!